Welcome back, everybody, from that very scary advertisement. Yeah, I love that we had an adventure game. And now we get some Monkey Island music. Oh, Monkey Island 3. Probably the best of the Monkey Islands. At least that's what I would say. Highly recommended if you haven't tried it. Monkey Island 3, fantastic. Although, all of them, they all have their own charm. Number 4 is just objectively the worst. Okay, let's go. Scary things are coming our way in Kuso6rande. Everybody. Maniac Mansion music now? Oh my gosh. Apparently the playlist just wants adventure game music at this point. Thank you so much, playlist, for bringing out everything that I love. So, what kind of maniac is coming to my mansion today? And that's my segue. Yeah. It's Jeff. Jeff, I want to talk to you. Come on, chat. Oh, Jeff, here you are. Hello, Hi. Jeff. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Oh my gosh, I always love to have you here. I believe I have all the information for your game that I need. I believe I have everything ready for the reveal, and I don't know what this console is. It has to be a home computer of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you all about it.
Please do.
It is called the Enterprise. It was released in 64 and 128-bit versions, or 64 and 128 kilobyte of RAM versions.
Okay.
So, it is from 1983.
Oh, that's released. A little old. Okay.
Yeah, or 1985, sometime around there. So it is an older system, and frankly, some of the games look pretty good on it for that time period.
Okay. In this game here, I'm going to go ahead and show the picture. I'm not saying what the name is, just so people can sort of, like, maybe guess a little bit at the name. Here is the game. Okay. I want to see guesses in chat, everybody. Golf? No, it's not golf.
Nope, no golf.
Although, I like golf. Golf games are fun. Runner? Nope. Golf DX? No. Golf is not in the title, everybody.
It is similar to Trailblazer, but it is not Trailblazer.
Okay. Marble thingy, jump in the holes. Nobody's gonna guess it. No. Okay, as it turns out, the name of the game is Magic Ball.
Yes, Magic Ball.
Magic Ball. Ball of magic.
The first
Marble
Magic
Sadness,
Ball.
that might be appropriate.
Marble Sadness is great. It is the first Magic Ball in the Magic Ball series of games, there being 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
And of course we go for the first one because it's jankier.
Well, understandably, yeah. Jankier doesn't always mean more enjoyable to watch, but in some cases it definitely is. Honestly, I just need magic balls in my life. I'm never saying that sentence again because I just don't want evidence.
So this game was also known as Out of This World, but for some reason I was not able to find the version that is labeled Out of This World. The one I found was the original that had the name Magic Ball on it.
Oh, yeah. By the way, if there are quote people here, it just makes me think. Whenever you have a game that has balls, there are going to be about 50 million quotes. This is a curse of Survivor as well. If you ever watch the reality show Survivor, whenever they have one of the games they play that has balls, there's just no way to do commentary without saying the word ball 1 million times. So, we're gonna embarrass ourselves, Jeff. And there's gonna be evidence, and then we can't do anything about it.
Oh no, so that's it for my career in politics, huh?
You were gonna be a politician?
Well, no.
Is that
but
why you joined Kuso6rande? Put it on your resume or something?
That would be the worst resume ever.
I make people suffer through bad video games, yeah. I don't think I'm electing this guy.
I don't think anybody would... See, the nice thing about being a Kuso6rande GM is that it's not an elected position. So I don't have to be popular. I can be the opposite of popular.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a dictator over here.
Yeah.
Or at least a dick. Yeah. Yeah. I rule with an iron fist. Yeah. Don't want to get in fisticuffs with me.
So today's game is pretty straightforward. You just jump, and you can adjust the speed to go faster or slower. And that's about it. Just jump, get to the end of the course. There are 9 roads
Okay.
for 10 levels.
10 levels. That is pretty exciting. Let me see if I get audio here. Because this is an odd console, I will likely have to do some recapturing in a little bit. So if I do that, don't worry, everybody. I pay attention to these things. If anybody yells, I'll yell back. Okay, here's the game. Magic Ball, a studio.
There we go.
And Boxsoft. Copyright a studio. Oh no. Oh no.
Boxsoft, incidentally, is named after Mr. Box. Believe it or not.
Mr. Box? Does he run like a box company? It sounds like he would make cardboard boxes.
Tom Box is the creator of Boxsoft, and he was commenting on a YouTube video of this game that he does not remember having published.
You know, honestly, if this came out in the early 80s, I probably would try to forget too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we have 3 out of 4 of the players ready, just waiting for the 4th one. And everybody, I need both all of your magic and all of your balls. As emotes, okay? For you to spam them in chat. I need to see your balls.
Let's see what kind of balls we're getting. Some globes.
Okay. Good. So as soon as I see movement, I will start our timer. We're doing the countdown. Balls, balls everywhere, and not a, I don't know, not a ball to drink. Why would I drink a ball?
Well, you'll see. Maybe there will be something to drink in this game.
Okay, this game actually looks like a lot of fun already.
Yeah, it looks well made, and in some sense it is. It has graphics and music, and then you're like, okay, 3 seconds into this, I'm a little frustrated with it. The music's getting a little repetitive. 3 minutes into it, you're like, yeah, could I be done with this already?
Okay.
And by an hour into it, I think people will be hating themselves. So, there are limited lives and no continues, so...
So there are multiple levels and then there are multiple roads per level, is that right?
Yeah, so this is like 1-1, 1-3, etc.
Okay. How many roads per level?
So it's 9 and 10.
Okay, gotcha. And how many levels? Oh, 10 levels, 9 roads per level?
Yeah.
Ah! That's actually a lot of content. We get all the content, everybody. This moves so fast, though.
It does. The thing is, you can slow it down. You can make your ball move slowly.
How slow, though?
You can slow it down to 0 until it's stopped. But then you don't get to jump over the long pits because you don't have enough speed.
Yeah,
You'll just fall down.
honestly, I think when you get game over, you go back to the very beginning of the game, right?
Yep.
So, honestly, I'm just thinking, figuring out how to consistently get through the early levels so that you can start seeing the later ones and knowing what kind of crap you have to get through, that is what's going to be important here. Luckily, like, we've had multiple game overs in the course of 2 minutes. I would say that while this is punishing at the same time, because you can get through levels so quickly, you can get caught back up to where you were quickly as well. As long as you can do it consistently, getting a game over on stages you haven't seen before is completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, it really only takes, a couple of seconds to beat the first few levels. Each of them is very fast.
Yep.
So it's just going to be sort of getting used to the and trying to remember which level you're on.
Yeah,
So
Rain is starting to get a little bit of a hang of this. I saw him moving before some of the platforms even appeared, and that definitely shows that he is learning the layouts of some of these levels.
Yeah, what I found is when I was playing it, if I was just doing it reacting to what I was seeing, it wasn't going to work. You needed to know in advance what your strategy was.
Okay.
And so I expect we'll see a lot of people dying and game overing on levels they haven't seen before, getting back there and beating it a second time.
Yeah, that's actually really cool that we're already seeing like people getting solid, consistent progress 3 minutes into the match, Jeff, and we've got an hour.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody against all odds manages to beat this, there is Magic Ball 2 waiting for them. So they don't
So,
the reward is they don't get to stop playing, but
they can go play the sequel if they want. So, right now we've seen basic mechanics. There's the ground. You go forward. You're going to have to do some platforming. And there are holes. Do we get introduced to other mechanics as the game goes on?
there's water, there's missiles, but this is what we're going to see. We're going to see mostly, for the game is just holes and
I'm a little bit worried about
ground.
the missile aspect. Oh,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Mifa on the top right is onto 1-5. I believe this is new ground, if I'm not mistaken. Looks new to me. Very yellow. Here,
Yeah.
1-6.
A colorful game.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was playing board game Battlestar Galactica last night with some friends, and let me just tell you,
That's sick. That was
it's-
good progress.
it's a really good game, but at the same time, if you're sitting away from some of the cards and you are colorblind, it's a little bit difficult to deal with. Yeah, 1-6 is great this early on.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's a mod who would like to do predictions, please do. We are voting between somebody on the left and somebody on the right. Apparently predictions haven't been paid out for the last one, so Headmaze, thank you so much. You're now our predictions guru. Hey, Meta Knight 3000 on the bottom right is on to the yellow stages as well. So here's sort of what I think. Reign of Soten has definitely done very well in past Kuso6randes and has made a lot of progress. Meta Knight as well. Mifa, I believe, is new this year. I'm not completely sure. The Final Sentinel has been around for a while as well. It's just interesting to me to see that some people really get a strong amount of progress early on, and then I don't know.
I really don't know what to expect because this isn't, the traditional platformer where we can have a general idea of, who might be good at that type of game and evaluate it based on that. Or this isn't even really the very traditional Kuso6rande type of game anyway.
We have a lot of votes for the right side at this point, and honestly, I don't know enough about Mifa to really put a vote for him other than he's done well so far. Meta Knight is a strong player, though, and Rain is a strong player. Usually a little bit weak to begin with, but at the end of the hour, often has a breakout moment. And really, all you need is one solid playthrough in this game in order to move into the victory here. I'm so glad that, these levels are so quick to get through.
Yeah. Well, I often don't like having setups where people have to go back to the beginning of the game, because then it might make it a situation where, somebody's so clearly in first place, nobody's ever going to overtake them. But in this game in particular, where you can get through, the first 5 roads in under a minute, it'll be anybody's game throughout the whole match.
Yeah, people in chat are commenting that the red appears to be speed boosters, and I would definitely agree with that.
So these levels each have a speed limit that differs. I think the first one's 40, and then it goes up to 50. So that's another mechanic that they play around with in this. You can't go... I mean, it would be nice if you had no speed limit, because then you could just jump over the entire level, but they use that to make sure that you can't cheese any of these levels.
This music is a lot of fun. I like it.
I liked it for the first 9 minutes too. By an hour through, when I was actually playing it, the combination of the repetitive music and the frustratingness of this game was really getting on my nerves.
Oh, it really got on your nerves eventually. Okay, fun. So, as far as I can tell, this specific game, I found a website that talks about this. It's all in Hungarian. And as far as I can tell, Boxsoft was a Hungarian studio, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you wouldn't think I'd pick an American game, would you?
I mean, you could. You always have that option, Jeff.
I do?
You do. You literally do. You can choose any game that is right for a bad games tournament.
I didn't know that.
Well, we're learning together today, aren't we?
I thought it was limited to Eastern Bloc countries on consoles that nobody had ever heard of.
Yeah. No, you're not limited to that, but, if you want to self-impose a limit, then be our guest. I mean, you basically have already done that. There we go. Yeah, I like that I'm reliably seeing people make progress, and a lot of them are developing strategies, especially for 1-4, strategies that are similar to each other. And honestly, the less movement you have to do left and right, the better, is what I would say. I'll go ahead and refresh Mifa's stream, and hopefully it is still running, so we can hear the beautiful audio. Yeah, there we go. How far do you think it would be reasonable for players to make in this game?
How far is it reasonable for them to make into this game? I certainly expect we'll see people in level 2.
Okay.
Maybe level 3?
Maybe level 3.
That's about it?
Yeah, honestly, since the game over for this is pretty brutal, sending you back to 1-1, past level 3 would be a surprise.
Yeah, so there are 9 levels with 10 roads, so there are basically a total of 90. And then I think that there are some bonus levels scattered around through it, but when I'm talking about levels right now, I'm talking about like where it says on the left of the screen level, not like which stage you're on.
Final Sentinel is on 1-6. Oh, the thing is, like, the stages move so fast that, you know, the players just want to keep jumping, but it's probably not always the best idea.
That was my experience too, is I was like, it seems like you want to just keep jumping because they're holes and you don't want to, you know, the more time you're in the air, the better you're off you're going to be. That was not at all the case. The harder thing was dealing with the platforms, making sure that you were jumping near the end of the platform.
Yeah, for sure. So, for those who are wondering, the players in this appear to have taken second in their initial match, which, even if they did take second, I do know that some of these players are very likely to make it into the bracket. Simply put, they're all very strong competitors. Going up against each other is an exciting thing for us to have here. With that said, this is not a typical genre, so it'll be interesting to see who is able to adapt to a game like this the quickest. And Rain is doing pretty well. When the Final Sentinel got to 1-6, he was consistently jumping. Rain has taken a very different approach, just waiting until he can see that the platform is disappearing and then jumping. Unfortunately, there's really not much time to adjust to left or right. Like, I think this game is going to be trial and error and remembering where the platforms are going to show up, because there's just not quite enough time to react.
Yes, exactly. That was my experience playing through it as well. But as far as Rain got in 1-6, he'd be able to see that what's coming up is platform on the right, and then on the left, on the far right, and then on the far left. And so you'll just have to remember that next time you get there. But you get back there within a minute, so.
Yeah, it really doesn't take that long. I think that is the one saving grace for this right now, that, you know, we get to these areas rather quickly.
I imagine that when they play level 1 roads frequently enough, they'll be able to just breeze through them.
Mm-hmm. Meta Knight also making it to 1-6.
It looks like everybody's been at 1-6 so far.
I believe so, yes.
I'm hoping this is not going to be a situation in which our referee needs to figure out exactly which square on a road the person got to. I think over the course of the match, there'll be a little bit of spread. People will make it to roads that others haven't yet gotten to.
Hopefully you're right, but you never really know. Unfortunately, the person given audio for us is also having a lot of buffering, and is...
Okay, we have backup audio from Sentinel.
Okay, cool. I'll go ahead and make the switch over there in just a second. Considering it's just music on a loop, that is definitely not the correct audio on Sentinel stream.
Let's see, did I...
That's okay. We'll roll with whatever we need to. We'll roll. We're ball. We're rolling around anyway. Yeah, like, I've listened to worse things for an hour. This'll be fine. Okay, 1-6 for both Rain and Mifa. See what they are able to do. Rain. My gosh, I know exactly what Rain is feeling, getting frustrated. Like, he's like, crap, I knew that the platform was on the right. I can't believe I forgot.
And then that's the end. Once you get past the one on the right, the one on the left, it's the end of that level. So, very, very close.
I kind of want to play this game.
You want to play it?
It looks fun.
But buy yourself an Enterprise 128 and rig it up to stream.
Okay, where can I get one?
Hungry, maybe?
I'm not flying to Hungary just to get a computer.
Maybe somebody can send you one.
Okay, everybody watching chat, if you have an Enterprise 128, go ahead and send it over. Just so you know, by the way, Enterprise is a Zlog Z80 based home computer. That was specifically an 8-bit microprocessor created by Zlog. Through a series of delays, this wasn't actually commercially available until 1985. 2 years old is when people were able to get it. Specification as release was powerful and one of the higher end in its class. I can actually tell, like, for 85 looking at this, like, there were some other games that had quick action. Ball Blazer is one of those that really stands out to me. What other game? You know, at the same time, actually getting this, getting a game like this that wasn't made from one of the bigger studios is pretty impressive. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's really great for an 8-bit system.
Yeah, so
And-
this apparently was one of the games that moved away the graphics and sound from the CPU over to another of the chips that the computer had.
1-7 for Meta Knight.
Nice! 1-7 for Meta Knight. That is fantastic.
Just for a moment, but that was great to see. Everybody's really doing great, making solid progress, figuring out exactly what needs to be done. So, gonna be a close race, I think.
Okay.
And,
yeah,
yeah,
this
so
is
this
going to be
game-
a great watch. Like,
So this game was distributed on a tape, right? So I love, this is one of they're playing on an emulator called EP32, and it's one of these things where it actually emulates the tape loading. So it makes
Ooh.
you just sit there and wait for 30 seconds while it says loading tape.
I love it. Did I see what the name of the chips are, Karo Z? I'm not completely sure I saw the name of the chip. Don't know. Application-specific integrated circuit or ASIC chips is what they have. And they were named Nick and Dave? What? Oh my gosh. The graphics card was Nick and the sound chip was Dave? Oh, that is so cute. Okay, I really like it. Dave's not working right. Yeah.
Named after Nick Toop and Dave Woodfield.
That's adorable. Apparently we have seen 1-8, by the way. Oh my gosh. Every single time a ball gets really far in this, I just somehow miss it. I miss the ball. I miss the level. I miss where... Yeah, Meta Knight is definitely getting the lead, though. It's definitely Meta Knight who was figuring out how to do this well. Mifa, though, made it to 1-7, and the final Sentinel as well, leaving Rain a little bit behind. But again, usually I see Rain make most of his progress in the second half of the match.
We're up to 1-8?
Yes. Final Sentinel also getting there. Meta Knight got there first, though. I think, yeah, we're definitely having leads change right now. There's going to be a lot up in the air for probably the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then maybe we will start having a solid lead get established, only for it to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Like, I fully expect more changes to happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're not even halfway through this yet. And as people have memorized these levels, they're going to just blast through them over and over and get to the new parts pretty quickly. So, I kind of hesitated a little bit in picking this for Kuso6rande, because it's not a bad game in a sense. It is, for the time period, it is very well made. But to modern eyes, it is so frustrating to have one song on loop the whole time.
Well, then don't listen to it with your eyes.
So much frustration from the controls. Just one song, and the graphics are, colorful, but a bit blocky, and the hitboxes, or I guess what you could call them, where the platforms actually begin and end, don't seem to match up as well as one would hope.
Yeah.
So, it's when they're obviously extremely ambitious doing something like this in the early 80s or in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
And it would have been a lot of fun, but so
at the same time,
it doesn't hold up well.
I don't know exactly. Yeah, I would agree that honestly, if there were more of a way to telegraph where the next platform was going to be, I'm thinking like Battletoads Turbo Tunnel. Guess what? It would actually show you where the obstacle was going to show up before it showed up on the screen. And I'm going to call that a good feature. Yeah, that's right. I'm referencing Battletoads and saying good feature here.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely had all the makings of a potential good game, right? Like, if they had either given you like road signs to tell you what was coming up, or just tweaked the speed a little bit, made additional songs for it, just a few changes here and there, this could have been tremendously better game, but it is what it is.
As far as I can tell, like, actually doing programming on the Enterprise appears to have been a little bit more difficult. There wasn't a built-in basic system for it. And instead, you had to buy the 16K ROM cartridge and then turn on the language. It was similar to the Acorn, is what it's saying here.
Acorn, of course, is a system, one of my favorites. I've brought some Acorn games on here.
Yeah.
Including, but there was Basic on Acorn, so a lot of people use that. Bunny Racer, one of our...
Oh, I love Bunny Racer.
Favorites. Yeah, it was written in Basic for Acorn.
Yeah, okay. Apparently, it was also a little bit of a wordier, or a long-winded is what this is saying, a long-winded version of Basic that it used. So, I don't know, it like had enough differences that you had to know what those differences were to program well on it.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So, at the same time, Basic is a lot more approachable, I think, to programming, just because it is so easy to understand looking at it. It's basic, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And at the time, people were writing for many, many different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was certainly helpful if you wanted to get your game on a lot of different systems to have some familiarity with basic type programming languages. When I pick these sort of weird consoles, I try and pick games that are either exclusive to that console or are sufficiently different on that console from other ones to make it interesting. Otherwise, you know, so many of the DOS games that I pick, like I could also be giving out like an Amiga version of them or a ZX Spectrum version. In a lot of instances. So I like to show off something special about this particular console. There really weren't that many Enterprise 128 games that were...
By the way, Mifa just had a really good push through 1-8. Meta Knight basically getting to the same place right here. Oh my gosh. This level is a little difficult, though. There are some... Oh, there we go. Meta Knight managed to make the jump that Mifa missed. So for Meta Knight, for sure, Meta Knight passed Mifa. I don't know about the final Sentinel, though. I don't know how far he has made it. 1-8 is really being the difficult stage right now, though.
Yeah, it looks like folks are struggling on that. I found 1-8 that the platforms don't really seem to measure up exactly where I expect them. Your ball to land. I mean, you can see the ball has a shadow, so you can see where the ball's going to land, right? But so I guess it's not broken. It works as intended, but I just found it a little bit unintuitive. But I didn't get past that. So
yeah, I'm kind of fine with the shadow the way that it works here. Like, at least having some sort of indication. Maybe it's not the best, especially since lighting doesn't completely seem to match the ball as it does the rest of the level. It's a little odd, but better than no shadow. No shadow would make this a nightmare.
Yes. I'm already, like, you're not really getting much of a shadow since you don't have the benefit of that when you are not on a platform. So it helps you as you're leaving the platform knowing when to jump, but it still makes it really difficult to figure out when you're supposed to be landing.
Yeah. All right. Well, right now we are just about half an hour into this match. We have not seen level 2. I'm not really too surprised. This game is, like, ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
And you know, it doesn't look like there's any way to get extra lives.
It's possible that there's some high score where you can get an extra life. I certainly didn't come across anything like that, though. It's also one of those games that amuses me where the point totals don't always end in 0. Like, you can have 1,494 points.
I wonder if the score that you get is based off of, like, the time remaining. Because if so, that would be a very precise time that it gives you, or a precise score that it gives you in response to that time. Oh, I do love that Chad is saying this looks like one of the games that they would play on Star Trek The Next Generation, and I kind of agree with that. It is very much... This looks a lot more like a prototype game than something like that would get a commercial release, which, to be fair, that's probably what this was. As far as I can tell, you know, there weren't very many of these home computers that were made, and I imagine it was probably just a small group of people developing games for it.
Yeah, I don't know. One comment I found from somebody online said that they bought this game at their local software store in Hungary. So it must have been got a commercial release in some sense.
Okay.
But I never really know. Back then, when people were talking about buying things in software stores, if it was like when I'd go to the store and it would just be like a bunch of diskettes in a baggie.
By the way, this game does have a story, and I will go ahead and read the translation that I have for you all.
Great.
Yeah, all broken Google Translate and all. Eventually, a pilot with good reflexes was selected to control the spaceship during interstellar jumps. The choice fell on you. Tasked to perform 10 interstellar jumps, you must reach 9 stargates within the interstellar jumps. They provide the energy for the big jump. Between each interstellar jump, a different danger lurks against you. If you get to a big stargate, you get a letter. Once you have collected 9 letters, you can put together the code word for the path to the last stargate. If you accomplish this too, you will get a new world where people can start all over again what has been ruined in their homeland. You must reach 9 stargates within the interstellar jumps. They provide the energy for the big jump. Oh my gosh, this is just repeating half of it. Okay. Between each interstellar jump, it says the same thing like 3 times. Okay. If you accomplish this too, you will get a new world where people can start all over again what has been ruined in their homeland. Save humanity! Yeah, this is actually a post-apocalyptic world.
I could see that. You know, given the lack of humans and buildings and all that sort of thing, I could buy it.
By the way, there may be bonus stages in this? What? Apparently there are bonus stages later on.
In between the levels. So if we get somebody past 1-9...
Okay.
Maybe we'll see it. I did not make it that far myself, so...
Yeah, I'm not too surprised.
One of these games where I think we may end up seeing more progress on this stream than is documented anywhere on the internet. So I did see a video of somebody getting up through 1-9.
Well, you can apparently select which level you go to. If you, on the starting screen, if you hit tab, you can go and select the various levels. I'm not 100% sure, though.
We've managed to make it halfway through this race without any embarrassing quotes about balls.
Don't worry, there's plenty of time, everybody.
Alright.
Well, I suppose that's because, like, the level layout is more notable than the balls. It's true, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a game where the level design is really what it all comes down to.
Yeah, it's absolutely the focal point of this. Oh my gosh. And it's so difficult. This game is so hard.
Yeah. Some people seem to think that's a selling point for it. Some people really like that kind of challenge. I don't, but I like my games to be not so crazy hard, but it's not hard in the like Kaizo kind of sense, just hard in that they want you to have fast reaction times and to memorize the levels. That's hard but fair, I suppose.
I suppose. Wait, Meta Knight! Oh, almost managing to get through that section. Final Sentinel and Mifa are both doing this. Mifa, unfortunately, falling, getting a game over. Final Sentinel, let's see, can you get these hops? Oh my gosh, Final Sentinel might have pulled a little bit ahead. Woo! This is good stuff. And there's a game over right there. Linker in chat is saying that 90 is a bit further. Sentinel would be considered second place at this point. Now, we haven't talked much about Rain because Rain has been behind most of this race. Again, Rain tends to do better in the second half. I would fully expect Rain to catch up to everybody else. Is that going to happen? I'm not sure, but Rain is on 1-7.
Yeah.
I do like the snare drum sound in this game. It's good,
One
Jeff.
song is good. The one song is good.
I mean, out of... it's not too bad. It's fine. Like, I would definitely enjoy, like, having more variety, but we're talking about 80s computing, you know? Not only that, it's not even a computer that's well known. So, deal with it, everybody, okay? Deal with it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was back in the mid-'80s, when I was sitting at home playing on my Atari 2600, you know, this would have just been light years ahead of anything that I'd been experiencing, and I would never have thought to complain, oh, there's only one song, because...
No,
that's the
there's
norm.
actually music in this, and that is
Yeah.
not something that you always had back in the day, you know? You usually had music or sound effects, and you dealt with it, and honestly, sound effects were much more common than having any sort of soundtrack. Atari 7800 and then 800XL. 800XL is what we had at home, and that really started to get a little bit more complicated with audio. I'm thinking like was it Bug Off? A game where you play as a weird can of bug spray. Yeah, you are literally a can of bug spray in that game. That is one that had music and sound effects at the same time. Frogger managed to do that in some of the ports as well. But yeah, that was significantly after the Atari 2600. It took a while to get to that point. Amiga often only has just one or the other. You can't do both. Oh my gosh, yeah, if anybody ever wants to play a game...
1-9.
Oh.
Meta Knight on 1-9.
Wow, very nice. Good job, Meta Knight. Mifa
So
making a good push now on 1-6, trying to get through this again. The biggest thing for this, I think, that would help me is just trying to remember which platforms do I can hold jump or just keep jumping over and over again, or certain sections, where do I need to stop just automatically jumping? And if I, figuring that out would probably be what I would focus on. Left and right would probably come a little bit more naturally just as a reaction to the spacing out of certain jumps.
The thing with spacing out the jumps, right, is that it depends on what speed you're going at, and you're not always going to be going at the same speed in each playthrough, because, you know, you might remember I need to slow down a little bit here, but there's a difference between, you know, slowing down to 40 versus 37. You can't really get it as precise as you'd like, so there's just going to have to be some degree of intuiting it every time you play through.
I think the more that you can make the speed consistent in each playthrough, the better, because missing certain jumps, like Meta Knight again on 1-9, unfortunately landing on the water. How do you deal with the water?
you how do you deal with the water? You can be on it very briefly.
Okay, so basically, as soon as you land on the water, you have to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see Meta Knight jump off the water. Rain, by the way, starting to get caught up. As I said, this is really the part where Rain starts to shine is the back half of the match.
Unintended.
Sure.
So I'm glad we've seen some of 1.9. I think we'll probably get to see even a little bit beyond that, since we still have another more than 15 minutes left in the match.
By the way, you're probably going to see a lot more people intentionally dying in certain places here. If you lose a life early on, it's really best to just run out of lives and get back to the beginning as quickly as possible. That way you are able to start a fresh attempt. I think it's a good strategy. Multiple people are employing it right now. Really, you just want to get to the farthest location you've made it to with as many lives left as possible. That way you have those 3 lives that you can grind through to try to experiment and find out what's coming up next.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just
having,
brutal. Three freaking lives. How can you... How could you reasonably assume anybody could make any sort of progress at all with just 3 lives?
I don't know, but here we have 4 people that have made pretty great progress in, less than 45 minutes on 3 lives.
Yeah. Like, the website that I was looking at said that they had 5 lives. That's definitely not what we have here. Yeah, and the screenshot that they had actually has more lives than what the players here have. Well, maybe it just gave them a harder version.
There seems to be multiple versions of this, because there's another one where it has the alternate title on it, and so I don't really know what the issue is, but there is also a cracked version of the game where you can have infinite lives.
I'm giving people a challenge. I mean, they all get the same level of challenge playing in this match. And I think it's an important thing to note. The players are struggling through all of this. They need to remember, though, that other players are likely struggling just as much as they are.
Yeah, I mean, I generally don't give games that are Kuso solely because they're insanely difficult, right? And sometimes I give games that are actually fairly easy.
Yeah.
So, I switch it up a little bit. This time I thought it was fair to give something challenging. I wouldn't have given this in the first round, and I wouldn't have given this to people that all came in 4th place.
Yeah.
In the first round. This seemed like a reasonable challenge for folks, and particularly because I never really know how people are going to do. The last 2 games I've given out, we've had completions within an hour, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
So, probably no completions today. But...
No, I'm going to go ahead and say that is not happening. But I'm just thinking, for myself as a player, if I'm playing this, bouncing my balls along, and just struggling with the game, I would probably start to psych myself out and think, how far did their balls get?
Yeah.
How are they doing in this match? I'm just trying to throw as much ball-related statements out right now because this is really my last chance. How far did they get? Whereas, really, there's no benefit to thinking that. There's no benefit really, it's just going to hurt you. And with a game like this, with how difficult it is, somebody could have made it to level 3 on a fluke. just had a really good run. But it doesn't affect you, you just have to focus on yourself and not worry about how well other people are doing. This is one of those matches, by the way, that nobody has commented in Discord during the entire thing, which I think, in general, that means that this game feels a lot more skill-based than anything else. And they can jump right back into the game. There's no downtime. It's skill-based, not luck-based.
Yeah, I think this makes it great for a race that there's not much downtime. I've been really immersed in it the whole time.
Yeah, it's actually been a very fun watch. Okay, Rain, on to the difficult section here. Unfortunately, that's a game over. Everybody has made it, though, to level 1-8. Meta Knight made it to 1-9. So we'll have to see if Meta Knight is able to get there again. We've got 1-8 here, the cruel level. This is so difficult. Like, there's so many, like, you have to slow down eventually towards the end. You can't be going full speed. If you are, you're not going to make it. Okay, Meta Knight using the water very well there.
It kind of reminds me of, like, Sonic, where it feels like this is a game that's all about going fast, and then it punishes you for going as fast as possible.
There we go, bonus level. We are through. Whew.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, this is a good bonus level.
I'm so glad somebody made it to the bonus level.
This isn't even a good version of Breakout. It's just, like, the physics are not good. I love it.
Whatever, it's a...
It works. There we go. The letter for this level was E. Put all the letters from all the levels together to make up the code for the final level. Have fun.
E.
E
is in chat.
E, everybody. Yeah, we are on to C. Do not sink. That was a good entering of...
C, do not sink.
Do not sink. Yeah, unfortunately, there are no instructions for how to actually enter in a code to go back to level 2. Although you can, I have read by hitting tab. I think it's completely fine to have Meta Knight just go back to the beginning of the game. Why not? This is...
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's only 10 minutes left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna suddenly change the rules and give, like, hints for checkpoints and such. Mifa, back to the beginning of the game. Everybody back to the beginning of the game. Really, Meta Knight did great getting to 2-1, but it still is anyone's game. These runs do not take long, and all it requires is one good push.
This would be so great to see somebody do a task. I'm pretty sure there's no Enterprise 128 tasks right now, but this would be so cool to watch.
All of you people who have too much time on your hands, here's a project for you. I mean, yeah, that could be cool. Oh, as it turns out, I think the name of each stage is actually the password, so see the second password. There's also road, air, missile, highway, hyperspace, rainbow, space, and finally the secret last level, Egansuya. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Try pronouncing that. Last level, so everything we can imagine and what we can't even imagine. We cannot select from the menu unless we have completed the space level. The hacked version, you can start the game with F2, but you can play... Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go. If folks are interested in playing this, there are hacked, cracked versions of this
There are, yeah.
floating around. This is using a emulator that's called EP32.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that emulator, but I very much appreciate the people. Like, video game preservation is absolutely important. You know, finding what people have made in countries outside of the big video game producers. You know, it's fantastic, and I'm so glad that these exist. So, like, huge props to all of the emulator developers out there who make the emulators for, especially for the lesser known consoles. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, and for some parts of the world that had different consoles or platforms the games were being made for, that's that portion of their culture is going to be dependent on preserving that particular type of system. So
Yeah. And
having certain Soviet computer systems or this Hungarian system allows that that part of their culture to be preserved.
yeah, and honestly, you know, artifacts like this, you can tell a lot about a culture just by small things. Heck, archaeologists, anthropologists go out and find, you know, pieces of a broken pot and can still get a lot of information out of this. This, you know, the video games have a lot of information. This has a lot about Hungary in the mid-'80s. Especially since, you know, you can see the way that writing is done, the idea for how to put levels together. Yeah, it's really cool. Especially since a lot of video games also incorporate things that were popular at the time, which, guess what? Space travel was a huge topic of video games, especially in the 80s. You know, most games had some sort of sci-fi or fantasy element to them at that time. People didn't make games about reality because those were boring to people. They wanted the escape, whereas now we have like Night in the Woods, where yeah, you're playing as a cat, but guess what? You get to deal with the real world, cat. Yeah, stupid cat. How do you like it? How do you like being sad, huh, cat?
I liked it.
And this game has no emotions. No.
The game has one emotion. It's frustration.
Oh, okay.
I love Night in the Woods, though.
Oh, it's really good. Like, honestly, I'm so glad. I haven't played all of it, but it's really good.
Played all of it?
Yeah.
What? Why not?
I don't know why. I think that I forgot about it.
Oh, well, now you have unforgotten.
Yes.
So you won't have that excuse anymore. I want to see.
It's got really good writing. It's hard to get character interactions to feel like actually real in games, but they do a great job in it. I suppose that's because we've had a lot of JRPGs where translations always add a little bit of a wall, and then a lot of RPGs tend to have anime-style dialogue, which, let me tell you, that is not real, okay? Nobody talks like an anime.
I disagree, and I challenge you!
Challenge your butt. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, everybody. No, seriously, one of the things that I love to write the most is dialogue, and I've put a lot of effort into figuring out how to write dialogue that feels real, that feels natural, even if they're talking about weird things, how to make it feel like they're real human beings. One of the most impressive scenes to me was actually from the movie Alien, the original Alien. They have a scene where everybody is just sort of eating a meal, sitting together, and I have never seen a scene in a movie that felt so natural. That's like the outstanding conversation style that honestly is awesome. It's so good. Alien was the first movie to show people eating. Exactly. Thank you, chat, for realizing what I'm saying.
So, just let's, we only have 2 minutes left. Let's see how are we doing on rankings so far. It seems like Meta Knight's gotten to level 2 a number of times at this point. Who else do we have in the rankings?
Everybody's in the rankings from first to fourth. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Well, we have another 2 minutes to make sure that people don't quit. Or do something to DQ themselves in the final minute. But who's I don't know how second, third, and fourth place fit in at this point.
I'm not sure.
I don't envy Kate figuring this out.
Okay, Mifa going through 1-7. Rain also having a decent push. Like, we are in the final minute, everybody. 1-7 for Rain. Honestly, places could change based off of this playthrough alone. 1-8 for Rain. This is his last life, though. Last opportunity to make some progress here. Will Rain be able to do it? Oh! I don't know!
Ooh, probably not for Rain. Who's left? I think that might be it. I don't know if we're going to be able to see anybody breaking through at this point.
Okay, here we go. Time is winding down. Bam. We
Everybody
are
ready
out
your
of time.
Tims.
Hymns? Which hymns?
Tim.
Oh, Tim.
Ready your
like,
Tim.
I'm not going to sing a hymn. Why would I sing a hymn here? No, everybody, it is Tim. Tim has shown up and declared that the match is done. Well, I'm not completely sure who took second, third, and fourth, but Nighty definitely took the victory today. Yeah, honestly, I had no idea who was going to do it. Like, places were changing all over. It was very difficult to know who was going to take the victory, who would fall behind a little bit. Yeah, everybody else made it to 1-8. It was a lot of fun to see. But Meta Knight was the one breakout person getting to 2-1.
Breakout person getting to breakout.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough, Jeff. Touche.
Went to 2-2, right.
Oh. 2-2? Okay, 2-2, that's good. Yeah, Rain is like, gotta love memorization, and yeah, there was quite a bit of memorization in this game. We'll see if Nighty wants to come and chat, but here's what I'm gonna go ahead and say. Level design could have been better, and could have been a lot more forgiving in the beginning. It was a little overly ridiculous, but at the same time, this is a fun game for me to watch, and I really appreciate that the game lets you jump right back in to the game extremely quickly. Yeah. I don't know. What other thoughts?
So are we getting Meta Knight?
I'm trying to find out. Not getting responses.
All right. I could certainly understand why somebody would be exhausted after this, not want to talk, but
Yeah, honestly, this is a game that required a lot of focus, and like having a full hour where there's basically no breathing room has to be a little bit stressful. But seriously, that was a lot of fun to watch. So yeah, it looks like Nighty isn't gonna come to chat, no Mike, but I'm not too surprised to see Meta Knight do this well. He has done very well in past tournaments. He's always stepped up and managed to make a good amount of progress. I don't know. I was a little bit surprised that with this crew, Rain didn't quite do as well, but again, there's just so much memorization with this game, and reaction time is just not there. Whoever was able to remember the layouts of the level, of each level one after the other, definitely had the advantage going into this. Yeah, and I think that's my assessment. Good in some ways, bad in some other ways. Don't design levels like this, please, devs who are watching this stream. But, you know, it has ideas that I think would be fun to come back.
yeah. And maybe at some point, people can check out Magic Ball 2, where they didn't really learn any of those design lessons. But
Come on, you know what? Honestly, we have a lot more experience with a variety of games than they did at that time. So, you know, it's hard to exactly say. Well, I'm glad that some of the players really enjoyed it. Mifa, I saw that you were really getting the hang of it. Rain is saying the game would be okay without lives, or if there were a map to show you ahead. Those are two really easy things that would help out a huge amount. Yeah. I think that's all I have to talk about this game then. Jeff, thank you so much for giving this out. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon, okay?
yeah, you too. Take care.
Bye! Well, everybody, I have a little setup that I need to do. I will run a quick advertisement, do the setup. We will be back with our final game of the weekend.